The next phrase is look up. Look up means to search for information, often in a reference book or online. I need to look up the word in the dictionary. This means I need to search for the word in the dictionary. If you're unsure about the meaning, you can look it up online. This means you can search for the meaning online. The situation is starting to look up after all the challenges. This means things are starting to improve after the difficulties. The next phrase is lose your head. Lose your head means to become so upset or confused that you cannot think clearly. She lost her head when she heard the bad news. This means she became so upset that she couldn't think properly. Don't lose your head during the meeting. Stay calm. This means don't become upset or panicked during the meeting. He nearly lost his head when he couldn't find his keys. This means he was so stressed out that he almost couldn't handle the situation. The next phrase is make a note of something. Make a note of thing, to write something down, means to write something, remember it. Please make a note of the meeting time. This means write down the meeting time so you remember it. I'll make a note of your request and get back to you. This means I'll write down your request and respond later. Don't forget to make a note of the deadline. This means remember to write down the deadline. The next phrase is make a point of doing something. Make a point of doing something means to make a special effort to do something or to prioritize it. I always make a point of greeting my colleagues in the morning. This means I make sure to greet my colleagues every morning. She makes a point of being on time for every meeting. This means she always ensures that she arrives on time for meetings. If you make a point of practicing every day, you'll improve quickly. This means if you make sure to practice every day, you'll get better faster. The next phrase is make an exception. Make an exception means to allow something that is normally not allowed, usually because of special circumstances. We don't usually accept late submissions, but we'll make an exception this time. This means we usually don't accept late submissions, but we will this time. He made an exception to his rule and let me join the meeting. This means he allowed something unusual and let me attend the meeting. I'll make an exception if you're in a hurry. This means I will allow something unusual because you need to move quickly. The next phrase is make ends meet. Make ends meet means to have enough money to cover your expenses, especially when it's difficult. It's hard to make ends meet with such a low salary. This means it's difficult to have enough money to pay for everything with a small salary. She works 2 jobs to make ends meet. This means she works 2 jobs to ensure she has enough money for everything. With a little budgeting, I think we can make ends meet this month. This means with careful planning, we can manage our expenses this month. The next phrase is make it. Make it means to succeed, reach a goal, or arrive at a place. I finally made it to the top of the mountain. This means I succeeded in reaching the top of the mountain. She made it as a successful author after years of hard work. This means she achieved success as an author. I'll make it to the party on time. This means I will arrive at the party on time. The next phrase is make time. Make time means to find time in your schedule, especially when you're busy. I'll have to make time for studying this evening. This means I will need to find time to study tonight. She always makes time to help her friends. This means she always ensures she has time to help her friends. You should make time to relax during the weekend. This means you should find time to relax on the weekend. The next phrase is make yourself at home. Make yourself at home means to feel comfortable, as if you were in your own home, often said to guests. Please make yourself at home while I prepare dinner. This means feel comfortable and at ease while I get dinner ready. You can make yourself at home in the living room. This means you can feel relaxed and comfortable in the living room. He invited me to make myself at home in his house. This means he invited me to feel comfortable and relaxed in his house. The next phrase is make yourself understood. Make yourself understood means to communicate clearly enough so that others can understand you. I struggled to make myself understood because of my accent. This means I had difficulty being understood because of my accent. He tried to make himself understood in French, but it was challenging. This means he tried to speak clearly in French, but it wasn't easy. Make sure to speak slowly so everyone can make themselves understood. This means speak slowly so that everyone can be clear when talking. The next phrase is master's degree. Master's degree refers to an advanced academic degree, typically awarded after completing a bachelor's degree. She earned her master's in psychology last year. This means she completed and received her advanced degree in psychology. A master's degree usually takes 2 years of study after the bachelor's degree. This means an advanced degree typically requires 2 more years of study after the undergraduate degree. He decided to pursue a master's in business administration. This means he chose to continue his education with an advanced degree in business administration. The next phrase is may as well do something. May as well do something means that it seems like the best or most reasonable option, often when there's no better choice. Since we're already here, we may as well have lunch. This means since we're already here, having lunch seems like a good idea. We may as well leave now. It's getting late. This means leaving now makes sense because it's already late. If we don't have anything else to do, we may as well relax. This means if we don't have other plans, relaxing would be a good choice. The next phrase is mess about. Mess about means to waste time or engage in playful or aimless activities. Stop messing about and finish your work. This means stop wasting time and get back to work. The kids were just messing about in the park all afternoon. This means the kids were playing and having fun in a carefree way. He tends to mess about when he should be studying. This means he wastes time instead of focusing on studying. The next phrase is mess around. Mess around means to behave in a silly or unproductive way, often similar to mess about. The children were messing around instead of cleaning their room. This means the children were playing or being silly instead of tidying up. Stop messing around and get to work. This means stop wasting time and start working. They spent the afternoon messing around with their new camera. This means they casually played or experimented with the new camera. The next phrase is might as well do something. Might as well do something is used when there's no strong reason not to do something, even if it's not ideal. There's nothing else to do, so we might as well go for a walk. This means going for a walk is a reasonable choice since there's nothing else happening. You might as well tell the truth. It's better than lying. This means telling the truth seems like the best or most logical thing. We're already at the store. We might as well buy groceries. This means buying groceries makes sense since we're already there. The next phrase is mouth of a river. Mouth of a river refers to the place where a river flows into a larger body of water, like an ocean or sea. The village is located at the mouth of the river. This means the village is situated where the river meets the sea. Sediment often builds up at the mouth of a river. This means dirt and particles tend to collect where the river ends. They sailed from the river's mouth into the open sea. This means they traveled from the river to the sea. The next phrase is move on. Move on means to leave one place and go to another, or to stop thinking about something and continue with life. Let's move on to the next topic. This means let's continue to the next subject. After the breakup, it took her a while to move on. This means it took time for her to emotionally recover and continue her life. We packed up and moved on to the next city. This means we left and traveled to another city. The next phrase is needless to say. Needless to say is used before stating something obvious or expected. Needless to say, he was very upset about the news. This means, of course, he was upset. It's obvious. Needless to say, she passed the test with flying colors. This means it's no surprise she did very well on the test. The team was exhausted. Needless to say, they took a break. This means it's obvious that they needed a break. The next phrase is new blood. New blood means new people with fresh ideas or energy, often brought into a group or organization. The company needs some new blood to stay innovative. This means the company needs fresh people to keep things creative. They hired new blood to improve the team's performance. This means new team members were brought in to boost results. The club welcomes new blood every year to keep it lively. This means they regularly accept new members to bring fresh energy. The next phrase is no whatsoever. No whatsoever means absolutely none at all, used for emphasis. There was no doubt whatsoever about his guilt. This means there was absolutely no doubt he was clearly guilty. I have no interest whatsoever in politics. This means I absolutely don't care about politics. He showed no fear whatsoever during the challenge. This means he was completely fearless. The next phrase is no doubt means something is almost certainly true or will happen. No doubt he will win the game. This means I'm sure he is going to win the game. There's no doubt that she is very talented. This means it's clear that she has a lot of talent. He will come on time, no doubt. This means I believe he will not be late. The next phrase is no sooner than. No sooner than means something happened immediately after another thing. No sooner had I sat down than the phone rang. This means the phone rang right after I sat down. No sooner did he arrive than he started complaining. This means as soon as he arrived, he began to complain. No sooner had they left than it began to rain. This means it started to rain just after they left. The next phrase is not exactly easy. Not exactly easy means something is difficult or more complicated than expected. The exam was not exactly easy. This means the test was hard. Learning to play the piano is not exactly easy. This means playing the piano takes effort and practice. That job is not exactly easy for beginners. This means the job is difficult if you're just starting. The next phrase is not exactly new. Not exactly new means something is old or not recent. This phone is not exactly new. This means the phone is a bit old. His idea is not exactly new. This means the idea has been heard before. That movie is not exactly new, but it's still popular. This means the movie is old, but people still like it. The next phrase is not much of a something. Not much of a something means something or someone is not very good or strong in that thing. He's not much of a cook. This means he doesn't cook well. That was not much of a speech. This means the speech was weak or not impressive. I'm not much of a dancer. This means I can't dance very well. The next phrase is not nearly as, it means something is much less than something else. This book is not nearly as interesting as the first one. This means the second book is much less interesting. Yeah, he's not nearly as tall as his brother. This means he is much shorter than his brother. The second test was not nearly as hard as the first. This means the second test was much easier. The next phrase is not nearly so. Not nearly so also means much less in amount or degree, like not nearly as. She's not nearly so tired as she was yesterday. This means she is less tired than she was yesterday. It's not nearly so expensive now. This means the price is much lower than before. The task is not nearly so difficult with help. This means it's much easier when someone helps. The next phrase is not think straight. Not think straight means to be unable to think clearly, usually because of stress, tiredness, or confusion. I was so tired I couldn't think straight. This means I was too tired to think clearly. After the argument, he couldn't think straight. This means he was too upset to focus or reason well. She was so worried she couldn't think straight. This means her fear made it hard to think clearly. The next phrase is not think twice. Not think twice means to do something without hesitation or without careful thought. He didn't think twice before jumping into the river. This means he acted quickly without fear or doubt. I wouldn't think twice about helping her. This means I would help her immediately and gladly. They didn't think twice about spending all that money. This means they spent the money without worrying. The next phrase is nothing of the sort kind. Nothing of the sort kind means something is completely untrue or not like what was said. He said I lied, but I did nothing of the sort. This means I completely deny lying. She thought we were friends, but I felt nothing of the kind. This means I didn't feel friendly at all. Did he yell at you? No, nothing of the sort happened. This means there was no yelling at all. The next phrase is nowhere near. Nowhere near means far from or much less than. This job is nowhere near finished. The job is far from being done. He's nowhere near as fast as his brother. This means he is much slower than his brother. The price is nowhere near what I expected. This means the cost is very different from what I thought. The next phrase is of little no consequence. Of little no consequence means something is not important or has little effect. What she said was of no consequence to me. This means her words didn't affect or matter to me. The delay was of little consequence. This means the delay was not a big problem. That detail is of no consequence to the final result. This means that detail doesn't change the outcome. The next phrase is off the record. Off the record means something is said privately and not meant to be repeated or made public. He told me off the record that he's quitting. This means he shared a secret not meant for others to hear. The meeting was off the record. This means no one was allowed to report or quote what was said. She shared the news off the record. This means she gave the information privately and confidentially. The next phrase is omit to do something. Omit to do something means to forget or fail to do something. He omitted to mention the problem in his report. This means he failed to talk about the problem. She omitted to lock the door before leaving. This means she forgot to lock the door. I omitted to reply to his message. This means I didn't answer his message by mistake or forgetfulness. The next phrase is on air. On air means a radio or TV program is being broadcast live. The program will be on air at 8 p.m. This means the show will be live on TV or radio at 8 p.m. She was nervous before going on air. This means she felt nervous before speaking live on TV or radio. The station is on air 24 hours a day. This means the radio or TV station broadcasts all day without stopping. The next phrase is on hold. On hold means something is delayed or paused for a time. Our plans are on hold because of the weather. This means we stopped or delayed our plans due to the weather. I was put on hold when I called the bank. This means I had to wait on the phone before someone spoke to me. The project is on hold until next month. This means the project has been paused and will continue later. The next phrase is on loan. On loan means something is borrowed and must be returned. The painting is on loan from a private collection. This means the painting was borrowed and will be returned later. This book is on loan to me from the library. This means I borrowed the book and need to return it. Several items in the museum are on loan. This means those things are borrowed for a short time. The next phrase is on location. On location means filming or working at a real place, not in a studio. The movie was shot on location in Italy. This means the film was made in real places in Italy. They are filming on location today. This means they are recording outside the studio. We'll be working on location all week. This means we'll be at a real site, not in the usual office or studio. The next phrase is on show. On show means something is displayed for people to see. The new cars are on show at the exhibition. This means the new cars are being displayed at the event. Her paintings are now on show in a local gallery. This means people can go and see her paintings at the gallery. The project will be on show at the event next week. This means the project will be presented for everyone to see. The next phrase is on site. On site means at the place where something is happening, especially work or construction. All workers must wear helmets on site. This means they must wear helmets at the work location. There's a doctor on site in case of emergencies. This means a doctor is available at the place of work or event. They are doing repairs on site today. This means the repair work is happening at the location itself. The next phrase is on the basis of something. On the basis of something means using something as the reason or support for a decision or belief. He was chosen on the basis of his experience. This means his experience was the reason he was selected. They made the decision on the basis of new evidence. This means the new evidence helped them decide. She was hired on the basis of her qualifications. This means her qualifications were the reason she got the job. The next phrase is on the grounds of. On the grounds of means for a particular reason, often used in formal or legal contexts. He was fired on the grounds of misconduct. This means he lost his job because he behaved badly. She was refused entry on the grounds of not having ID. This means she wasn't allowed in because she had no identification. They took action on the grounds of safety. This means they acted because of safety concerns. The next phrase is on the grounds that. On the grounds that means because or for the reason that. He was released on the grounds that he was innocent. This means he was let go because he was found not guilty. The proposal was rejected on the grounds that it was too risky. This means they said no because they thought it was too dangerous. She stayed home on the grounds that she was sick. This means she didn't go out because she was ill. The next phrase is on the horizon. On the horizon means likely to happen soon or coming in the near future. A major change is on the horizon. This means something big is going to happen soon. Trouble may be on the horizon. This means there could be problems soon. A new opportunity is on the horizon. This means something good might happen soon. The next phrase is on the increase. On the increase means becoming more or growing in number. Crime is on the increase in the city. This means crime is happening more often. The price of food is on the increase. This means food is getting more expensive. Stress levels are on the increase among workers. This means more workers are feeling stressed now. The next phrase is on the road. On the road means traveling, especially by car or for work. He's always on the road for business. This means he often travels for his job. They've been on the road for 5 hours. This means they've been driving for 5 hours. The band is on the road again. This means the band is traveling for performances. The next phrase is on track. On track means going in the right direction or making good progress. The project is on track to finish by June. This means everything is going well and it should be done by June. She's on track to win the competition. This means she is likely to win based on her current performance. We're back on track after a slow start. This means things are going well again after some delay. The next phrase is open to discussion. Open to discussion means not final and can still be talked about or changed. The budget plan is open to discussion. This means people can still give ideas or suggest changes. We're open to discussion about the schedule. This means we are willing to talk about changing the schedule. All the rules are open to discussion. This means we can talk about and maybe change the rules. The next phrase is open to suggestions. Open to suggestions means willing to hear and consider other people's ideas. I'm open to suggestions for where to eat tonight. This means I'm happy to hear ideas about where we can eat. The manager was open to suggestions from the team. This means the manager listened to the team's ideas. We're open to suggestions on how to improve the service. This means we welcome ideas to make the service better. The next phrase is or other. Or other means some kind of thing, usually when you don't want to be specific. She's always worrying about some problem or other. This means she often worries, but the exact problem changes. They were talking about politics or other boring stuff. This means they discussed politics or similar things. He always finds an excuse or other to be late. This means he keeps finding different reasons to be late. The next phrase is or two. Or two means a small number, usually one or two of something. I might stay an extra day or two. This means I may stay 1 or 2 more days. She had a drink or two at the party. This means she drank maybe one or two drinks. You'll need a minute or two to finish this. This means it will take only a short time to finish. The next phrase is other than. Other than means except for or besides. I don't know anyone here other than you. This means you are the only person I know here. Other than the weather, the trip was perfect. This means everything about the trip was great except the weather. He has no hobbies other than reading. This means reading is his only hobby. The next phrase is other than that. Other than that means except for what was just mentioned. I was a bit tired. Other than that, I felt fine. This means I only felt tired, but everything else was okay. There was a small delay. Other than that, the flight was smooth. This means everything went well except for a short delay. She made a few mistakes. Other than that, her work was excellent. This means her work was very good except for a few errors. The next phrase is out of action. Out of action means not working or unable to do something. My phone is out of action until I fix the screen. This means I can't use my phone until I repair it. The printer is out of action again. This means the printer is broken or not working. He's out of action with a broken leg. This means he can't do his usual activities because of his leg. The next phrase is out of season. Out of season means not in the usual time for something like fruit or holidays. Strawberries are expensive when they're out of season. This means strawberries cost more when they're not in their growing time. Tourists don't come much out of season. This means fewer tourists visit during the quiet times of year. He wore a coat that was clearly out of season. This means his coat was not suitable for the current weather. The next phrase is out of the blue. Out of the blue means suddenly and unexpectedly. She called me out of the blue after 5 years. This means she phoned me suddenly after not talking for 5 years. Out of the blue, he offered me a job. This means he gave me a job offer without any warning. The storm came out of the blue. This means the storm started without any sign or warning. The next phrase is out of tune. Out of tune means not matching the correct musical notes or not in agreement. The guitar sounds out of tune. This means the guitar doesn't sound right. His singing was completely out of tune. This means he sang the wrong notes. Their ideas were out of tune with modern thinking. This means their ideas didn't match current beliefs. The next phrase is personal hygiene. Personal hygiene means keeping your body clean to stay healthy. Good personal hygiene is important for health. This means staying clean helps you stay well. He was taught personal hygiene at school. This means he learned how to keep himself clean in class. Poor personal hygiene can lead to illness. This means not being clean can make you sick. The next phrase is place an advertisement. Place an advertisement means to put a notice in a newspaper or online to share information. She placed an advertisement to sell her bike. This means she put a notice somewhere to find a buyer. We placed an advertisement in the local paper. This means we put our notice in the newspaper. He placed an advertisement for a new assistant. This means he posted a job offer. The next phrase is place an order. Place an order means to ask for something to be made or delivered. I placed an order for 2 books. This means I asked to buy 2 books. You can place an order online. This means you can ask for something using the internet. They placed an order for lunch at noon. This means they asked to have food brought to them. The next phrase is pose a danger. Pose a danger means to create a risk or threat. Wild animals can pose a danger to campers. This means wild animals might hurt people. The damaged wires pose a danger. This means broken wires could cause harm. Smoking poses a danger to your health. This means smoking is harmful to your body. The next phrase is pose a problem. Pose a problem means to cause difficulty. Lack of money may pose a problem. This means not having enough money could make things hard. His attitude poses a problem for the team. This means his behavior causes trouble in the group. The new rules may pose a problem for students. This means the rules might make things difficult for students. The next phrase is pose a threat. Pose a threat means to be dangerous or harmful to someone or something. Pollution poses a threat to marine life. This means pollution can hurt animals in the sea. The virus poses a threat to public health. This means the virus is dangerous for many people. Climate change poses a threat to the planet. This means climate change can cause serious harm to Earth. The next phrase is present a danger. Present a danger means to be risky or unsafe. Driving in heavy rain presents a danger. This means it is risky to drive when it rains a lot. The chemicals present a danger if not handled properly. This means the chemicals are unsafe without care. Poor lighting can present a danger in the workplace. This means dark work areas may lead to accidents. The next phrase is present a difficulty. Present a difficulty means to cause a problem or challenge. The lack of tools presented a difficulty for the workers. This means not having tools made the work harder. His injury presented a difficulty for the team. This means the team had a hard time because he was hurt. Language barriers may present a difficulty when traveling. This means not speaking the local language can make travel harder. The next phrase is present a problem. Present a problem means to cause trouble or something that needs a solution. This change may present a problem for older users. This means the change could be difficult for older people. Bad weather presented a problem for the trip. This means the weather caused trouble for travel plans. His attitude presented a problem at work. This means his behavior caused trouble on the job. The next phrase is prior to something. Prior to something means before something happens. She arrived 10 minutes prior to the meeting. This means she got there 10 minutes before the meeting. Prior to the trip, we checked the weather forecast. This means we looked at the weather before we traveled. He worked as a teacher prior to becoming a writer. This means he was a teacher before he became a writer. The next phrase is prospective buyers. Prospective buyers means people who might want to buy something. The house was shown to several prospective buyers. This means some people who might buy the house came to see it. The salesperson spoke to a group of prospective buyers. This means the seller talked to people who may buy something. We're offering discounts to prospective buyers this month. This means people who may buy from us can get lower prices now. The next phrase is prospective employers. Prospective employers means people or companies who might hire someone. She sent her resume to several prospective employers. This means she gave her resume to people who might give her a job. At the job fair, he met many prospective employers. This means he talked to people who could hire him. It's important to impress prospective employers in an interview. This means you should try to make a good impression on people who may give you a job. The next phrase is prospective parents. Prospective parents means people who are planning or hoping to become parents. The class is for prospective parents. This means the class is for people who will become parents soon. Prospective parents often read books about raising children. This means people planning to have kids read parenting books. The hospital offers tours for prospective parents. This means the hospital shows future parents around before birth. The next phrase is put a stop to something. Put a stop to something means to make something end. The teacher put a stop to the noise in class. This means the teacher made the students stop being noisy. The police put a stop to illegal parking. This means the police ended the rule-breaking parking. We need to put a stop to the bad behavior. This means we have to make the bad actions stop.